Alrighty, we are back. Oh, sorry about that. Getting my microphone down in front of my mouth. This is the second part of your study guide, so we're on question number 14. Find the mean, median, mode, and range of the data set. So start with the easiest ones first. Let's look for the mode. Which number appears the most? Well, I've got four numbers, and 217 is the only one that repeats more than once. So that means my mode is 217. And then the range, well, there's my biggest number and my little number. So I'm going to subtract those two. 224 minus 217. Got 14. Borrow. I get 7. 0 and 0. So that's my range. 7. And then my median would be my middle number. So I'm going to put them in order. 217, 217, 218, and 224. Now there are only four numbers, so when I cross them off to find the middle, I have 2 left over. So I have to add these up and find the mean of them, the average. 217 and 218, there are no numbers in between, so the average is going to be 217 and a half, because we're talking about halfway in between them would be the actual middle. So I know my answer is 217.5. And then my mode, my median, my range. Which one did I leave out? My mean. So this is the one that takes the most time. I don't have extra paper like you guys do, but normally you would never erase your work. So we're going to go 217 plus 217 plus 218 plus 224. We get 7 and 7 are 14, plus 4 more is 18, plus 8 is 26. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 4, 6, 8. So I get 876, and I divide it by 4. So I take 876. Divide by 4. 4 will go to 8 2 times, which is 8. Bring down my 7. 4 will go into 7 1 time, which is 4. Leaves me with 3. Bring down my 6. 4 will go into 36 9 times evenly. So that's my final answer, 219. And if that number is similar to all your other numbers, then you know it's right. And 219 is very close to all the rest of the numbers. Alrighty, let's move down. "15. Make a bar graph displaying the number of children, teenagers, and adults entering an amusement park if the ages of the following people are," and there's all of our data. Now, the labeling system, this is what it wants us to label. A child is 0 to 12, a teenager is 13 to 19, a young adult is 20 to 29, and an adult is 30 and over. So, oops, still getting used to my board here. So you're going to put your ages over here, because you always put your numbers along the upper vertical axis, and then we're going to have 4 bars in our data. They may or may not look like that. You'll have one for child, teenager, young adult, and adult. Okay? And when you do that, you want to check your answer at the bottom. And they are. They actually made a sideways graph, which is fine. That works too. I just always make mine going up and down because that's what I think of. But either one is acceptable. All right, let's go back up and do 16. Almost done. Only 2 more questions. 16. The results of a survey on a people's favorite type of media are shown. Use the data to make a bar graph. So we would, again, make the same type of bar graph. Remember, our numbers go on this side, and our newspaper, radio, television, books, and magazines, and our bars would go something like this. Make sure you put a title. Make sure you label what everything is. Okay? Now, when you actually have this on the test, they will be multiple choice, so you actually just have to pick the graph that's correct. you're not going to have to draw it yourself. So that will save you a lot of time and me grading them as well. All right, number 17, use the data to make a table. Then use the table to find a trend in the temperature during the 5 days. So we're going to make a table. Get our highlighter out and find the important information. We've got January 1, 69. January 2, 72. That's a warm January. January 3, 75. January 4, 77. January 5, 78. Must be in Hawaii. Alrighty, so we're going to make a table. We're comparing two things. We've got dates and we've got temperature. So then we'll put on January 1, January 2, January 3, January 4, and January 5. Draw little lines. There we go. And then we have 69, 72, 75, 77, and 78. Now, it wants us to use the table to find a trend. So some of the things we were talking about, when you look at the temperatures, the first things that come to your mind is, wow, that's a really warm January, or it's getting warmer the whole time. Look at that. They're getting higher. All those comments you make when you're reading it, or those first thoughts that pop in your head, those are trends. That's conclusions you're thinking. It went from 69 on January 1st to 78 on January 5th. So the trend would be each day the temperature got warmer. Was warmer or higher. Either one works. All right. Happy studying, and I'll see you for class tomorrow.